All right, the cooler weather is moving in, and that means some trouble for our tropical plants. But plant expert Alex Bart from Choice Tropics is here to tell us how to handle the roller coaster of temperatures we see this time of year. Now, Alex, are some plants just more susceptible to the weather?
Yeah, most definitely. We live in an interesting climate considered to be subtropical, so we can grow subtropical and tropical species. Those in particular are more sensitive.
All right, so what are the do's and the don'ts when it comes to the weather?
Okay, the first don'ts is don't cover with sheets or garbage bags the plants. It's very common. Yeah, I mean, sheets are good to sleep in. Garbage bags are garbage, no pun intended. But, you know, do use a frost cloth. What you want to do is use something like this, which is more insulated. It provides a barrier protection.
Very rough,
You can drive stakes through it easily, and it actually will protect the plants, making it 6 to 8 degrees warmer underneath that actual cloth.
Where do you get these?
You can get them at your local garden center, a number of places.
Oh, okay.
They're definitely different
So
than
get
a
it
sheet.
now.
And what are some
now.
of the other do's and don'ts?
All right, the next do's is what you can do is don't water during a freeze. And, you know, typically when you want to water, do it the night before, not in the middle of the night. And specifically during a freeze, do not saturate your plants because that freezing weather can actually crystallize into ice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's not good.
What do you use then?
So what you want to do is you do want to water, but try to do it the evening before, okay? And
So
then
when it's warm.
when it's warm, yep, and make sure to turn off your irrigation system. That way it's not sporadically running throughout the night.
All
People probably
right,
miss
that's
that.
a good
I
idea.
missed that.
And there's one more. One of the other do's that you have.
Fertilizing.
Or don'ts.
Yes, don't fertilize right before a freeze. Actually, it's a good rule of thumb, the season before winter, like fall, do your fertilization, because if you fertilize before colder weather, it causes a lot of vegetative growth, and that's susceptible to freeze damage.
I think some of us get nervous, and so we try to either throw a bunch of water in case, you know, oh, it's going to need it because it's.
Well, like
Right.
it's like people. You want to drink when it gets cold and eat, and you're not supposed to do that with plants.
Exactly.
And you brought some of the plants as examples, like for instance with this one over here, you know, when you cover it, what would be the difference between that and this one?
As far as covering, not much. You just want to make sure that there's no wind getting through at the base of the frost cloth. So just make sure to lay it flat and cover the plants and then anchor it. You can even use rocks or something heavy. And that way there's no wind getting underneath and exposing those.
So these are going over.
Then won't it squash the plant if you put it on top of it?
No, if you're careful about just draping it, and that's why it's important to
Don't
use
press it
frost
down.
cloth. Yeah, don't use something like a heavy sheet that might be too heavy or too light and exposes it.
Not a blanket.
And a garbage bag just has too many edges. It's rigid sometimes, and it's exposed more to the wind.
What if you
picking
just
up.
planted a fruit tree?
Very common, very
So
popular.
a
on
lot
some
of fruit
coasts.
trees have something called grafts, and the trunk, a graft is inserted into the trunk. So it's important to wrap the actual trunk where the graft meets the rootstock, and that will actually protect the fruit tree, essentially the graft, from getting damaged. So that way, if it does get some freeze damage on the artificial limbs, you just cut those back.
That makes sense.
And you brought a mango tree here, yes?
I did, yep.
And are some of the fruit trees a little hardier? Are there any that are extremely delicate? We
Yeah.
can't expect to get them back after a frost?
Well, delicate fruit trees can be things like your Barbados cherries. Some miracle fruits are going to be more delicate.
I killed the
I have one
Barbados
of
That's
those.
right, from the last time.
I killed one of those.
I've still got the miracle fruit tree.
Do you?
Oh, good.
I guess he needs a blanket.
He might need a frost cloth. Yeah, I'll let you
Is
have
yours
this
still
one.
alive?
Yes.
So
of
my tree
course.
was the only one that died?
I don't understand this,
man.
Bobette.
I can't understand it either.
Now, I was told, whatever these are,
Crotons.
thank you, that they're hardy. So if I miss the freeze
Well,
or
they're
I miss the
considered-
prevention, what do I do?
So they're considered a low maintenance species, but here's the thing. Check the weather in the days preceding an actual freeze event, because the weather will change, the forecast will change up until 24 hours before. So if there's a freeze warning, then take action. Crotons in general, they are hardy, but they are considered cold sensitive.
And one last question. What if I want to plant something and keep my garden, you know, colorful during the winter months or the cooler months?
Right, definitely this is a great time of year for your evergreens, for stuff like geraniums. Geraniums are going to give you a lot of color. They're more cold hardy. They come in multiple arrays of colors, so that's a fantastic idea.
But maybe not tonight, since it's going to get cold tomorrow.
Right, exactly. I mean, you probably want to have fair weather for planting.
I have a question. We lost a lot of palms in our yard from the frost a few years ago.
Right.
And it was difficult every weekend to climb up the ladder and wrap them and then unwrap them. If you know that there's going to be another frost coming in a few days, can you leave the palms wrapped?
Not a good idea. It's like there's a ton of heat in there, and you have to think of it as you wearing this big blanket in the middle of the sun. It's not that comfortable, and it's not going to be that comfortable for the palms either.
There's no easy way.
Sorry.
You got to keep your palms comfortable.
This is why I can't grow anything. It's
Right.
horrible.
You make everything uncomfortable. It's horrible.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex.
Yeah.
Now, you guys can visit them at Troy's Tropics, Sarasota, off Proctor Road near Honore, or you can find them online. Go to troystropics.com. Next, we play a game. It's going to be celebrating the Chinese New Year. We'll be right back.